Hello and welcome back to the Monifactory. Right now I'm here in the mines because I want to get some Realgar ore, which I believe should be in Spain somewhere. At least I hope. Yeah, there it is. I think it's below a water cave, I think. Yeah, there it is. So the reason that I want to get Realgar is because it eventually can be processed in a centrifuge into arsenic dust, and I'll need arsenic dust very soon. So yeah, I'll try to get as much as I can from here. Now, unfortunately, it's right below a water cave, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to mine too much stuff. But let's see. Anyways, I'll meet you back at the base. Okay, so unfortunately, there wasn't too much realgar in the vein over there. It's pretty scarce, so I only got like a stack and yeah, stack and 16. So I guess let me just throw that through the steam grinder here and just let it process for the future. So in between episodes, I did add a couple of extra machines here. So first off, I add the macerator, so I can dedicate the steam grinder to just ore processing now. The next machine is a thermal centrifuge, and I did this because processing fell right through the thermal centrifuge gives a 33% chance of gallium, which is the best way I have right now. So yeah, I filled it up with 50 gallium and all. And over here I found a electrolyzer, which electrolyzes water into hydrogen and oxygen, though apparently it isn't working for some reason. So I use these quadruple fluid pipes, which as you can see they have four different channels where the fluids can go through. And I thought this would work, so it worked for a little bit, like it was extracting the oxygen and putting it into this drum, but now for some reason it's not. So maybe I have to read up a little bit more, see what it's doing. Actually, let me try putting the pump on the machine itself. That might work. Yeah, it's working. Ah, okay, so that was a problem. Okay then. So the goal for this episode is going to be making the first tier 2 circuit, which is the good electronic circuit. Now we already make most of this stuff. The only new things are going to be diodes and a phenolic circuit board. So first I'm going with the diodes. So I believe the only recipes that are available currently are these two. So I'm either going to need fine copper wire or fine annealed copper wire and a small pile of gallium arsenide dust. Now I think that using the annealed copper is going to be the way to go, since that gives two diodes instead of one. So in order to make annealed copper, we're going to need an arc furnace, and that combines oxygen with some copper and makes it into annealed copper. So the arc furnace doesn't look like anything special. And there you go. So I think we can just place this guy here. Now let me go grab a stack of copper. Let me take the steel drum here. And I believe I can just place it in here. Oh, this only has space for 8 buckets. Well, anyways, there we have some annealed copper. And I'm going to directly paste this through the wire mill. As that gets us some fine annealed copper wire. So that was step 1. And step 2 is going to be the gallium arsenide. So obviously we're gonna have to mix gallium and arsenic. So I'm gonna have to process the impure piles of Realgar that I have. And I think, well, they should be finishing up. Okay, perfect. So there's a couple of different ways I can process this stuff. So I can throw it through a centrifuge and get an 11% chance at sulfur, which is probably not even worth 10 seconds to be honest. I can also use an ore washer, which is actually pretty quick. I remember ore washing plants being quite slow, so I didn't even think of this to be honest. Well, anyways, my original plan was to use a cauldron. And I kinda wanted to try if I can, for example, just put them down right next to the inlet water source here. Nope, that's not gonna work. Well, I remember that you could actually use a full stack. So does that still work? Okay, so it's not throwing it then. Let's try to right click. Oh yeah, full stack work. Okay, that's good. That's good for now. Okay, so I think this can go through a centrifuge now. So let's just throw everything in here. Is that working? Oh wait, it's an electrolyzer. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well, it's not too slow. So I think that will work. I guess in the meantime, let's look at what it's gonna take to get this liquid glass. Can I melt sand? No, I guess it has to be glass. Yeah, well, I think I still have a stack or two sitting around here. So let's cook that up and make some liquid glass. So the glass goes inside the extractor. And eventually once it's done, I'll pick it up with a bronze drum. By now my arsenic should be ready. So I can take that and combine it with some gallium inside the mixer here. So what circuit was it? Circuit 1. The recipe seems pretty slow. But anyways, I should have some gallium arsenide. And I don't think I need so much of this stuff. Since I only need a small pile of it. So what does makes 4? And 4 probably goes like... Yeah, it goes a pretty long way. It's 8 diodes. And I think I have to click a check mark here. Yeah, now it's used gallium arsenide. Okay, so let's go ahead and make the first batch of diodes. So I'm not sure exactly how many of these I'm gonna need. So I think just for the time being, I'm going to be a bit conservative with this. Maybe just make like one batch for now. So we've got the liquid glass, we got the final new copper wire and the gallium arsenide. In one recipe is 20 seconds. Oof. And after about a minute, we got ourselves a couple of diodes. So that's the first thing down. And the next thing is going to be phenolic printed circuit boards. So we're either going to need silver wire, or we can use silver foil in a chemical reactor with some sodium persulfate or some iron trichloride. Now obviously using the silver foil with sodium persulfate or iron trichloride is gonna be a bit cheaper. However, I haven't really decided if I actually want to do this or if I'm just gonna eat the silver wire cost. Anyways though, for the phenolic circuit boards we're actually gonna need phenol. So phenol is made inside a powerized oven with coal and some steam. And so I've actually spent the last couple of hours just gathering up a bunch of stuff for this. So we're gonna need another set of Kubernetes coils, some UAV machine casing, and also all the LV hatches and buses and stuff that I need for the blast furnace. I also wanted to make a start on making some monocrystalline silicon balls. So basically these are made by silicon dust and small piles of gallium arsenide. And as you can see, the duration of this recipe is quite long. So that's why I decided to make a start on it right away. And actually, I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna get a little more gallium arsenide. Oh, but the problem is silicon. Okay, so I guess let's get like another stack. And I'll probably go and destroy the Lost City a little bit more with 3 episodes. Oh, you know what? I actually forgot to craft the Power 7 itself. I'm gonna have to wait on some more Kubernetes. So for now, I guess I'm just gonna build the other things first. So I think I'm gonna set this guy up on a separate power line. So I guess like right here. I guess let's set it up so it's level with the others. Probably just need like a single wire. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. So let's put down a laser node here. And the energy insertion card. They connected over here. That should work. So let's set the energy hatch. It just worked before, but now it's just switching the configuration mode. Well, after 5 minutes of messing it out, I finally figured it out. This was the offhand. Okay, so got power. Oh, and I should hopefully have some Kubernetes. So I think we need like so 2 4 like this. So okay. Anyways, there's a parallel one. I think it goes on top of a UAV casing, like it's like this. Yeah, exactly. So, need some critical coils on the underside like this. Yeah, that should be it. So, I guess let's put the output hash here, and the input hash here. So these are for fluids. Then the output there, input bus there. So where exactly does the muffler hash have to go? Does like see it anywhere? Yeah, see, there's a muffler hash. Yeah, but where? Oh, I guess right on the backside there. I guess made this edge there. Now something tells me that I need a second energy hash, or maybe not. There we go, structure formed. Now I guess I'm gonna need to go get my tools. Well, I just grabbed all of them since I don't remember exactly which ones I need. There we go, it worked. I should probably just make like a toolbox or something. I think that was a thing, right? So let's see which circuit does it need. Circuit 14. And we're also gonna need some steam, so I just made a steam boiler. So let's see, maybe something like this. Yeah, that's working. And I guess like an aqueous accumulator, just like right there. And then a bottom pipe here. A pump. And there we go. The input hatch is full of steam now. So I guess the only thing that's left is to get some coal. So I guess let's start with like 4 stacks of coal. And I've also got a drawer, as well as a drum for the other outputs. So I should just be able to throw my coal in here. And it's gonna take 40 seconds. And after 40 seconds are up, I should have some coke inside here, which I think I can use for something else down the line. I don't remember exactly what. Oh, black steel. Do I need coke for this? Oh yeah, I do. Okay then, I guess we're gonna keep scanning for a while. But anyways, the most important part is we got a couple buckets of phenol now. And actually they should go a pretty long way. Yeah, cause like, so I need 100 millibuckets for a circuit board. So each circuit board is a full circuit. So yeah, if my math is correct, about 4 stacks of coal should yield about like 16 buckets of phenol. So we should be good. There's like 160 circuit boards. So I'm pretty sure I think craft up a bunch of fuzzy circuit boards. And these are different from the print ones. So I need the normal ones to convert it to phenol ones. So I guess let's grab like, I don't know, like maybe 20. Yeah, I guess 20 to convert for now. So I can probably just use the chemical reactor here. And put my phenol. Throw my resin inside. And it should make phenolic circuit boards. So I don't really feel like doing chemistry right now. So I guess I'll just eat silver cast. Just combine this with some silver wire. And there we go, that gets us a couple phenolic circuit boards. I believe that's everything. So now I can make my first NVTR circuit. Now the first thing that I want to make using the NVTR circuit is actually an LV machine, the basic circuit assembler, which as you can see here needs an NV circuit. It also needs something else which I haven't made yet, which is an LV emitter. So this is going to need some brass rods as well as some quartzite. I believe I got some quartzite. Yeah, so I guess let's smelt up a little bit of this. We don't need too much. Now, brass is gonna be sticky, so I need some zinc. So, let me get the spheroid from here. What do I have to do with this to make it into zinc? Just smelt it? Ah, okay, cool. Okay, so let's take the zinc. And brass is zinc plus copper. So let's go ahead and see just how much. So it's 3 again. Does it need to yield? No. There you go. And these can directly become brass rods. So there's an LV emitter. And now let's see what else do I need for the A circuit assembler. I need another NV circuit. Okay, hopefully I can make one. Okay, one thing that I'm not gonna miss about this recipe thing is it filling up with my inventory with random garbage. So, there's this. A basic circuit assembler. So now that I have a circuit assembler, I can use it in order to make the basic integrated circuit, which is an LVTR circuit like the other one. But of course the main difference is that this one is much cheaper to make. And I also get 2 of them for each craft. So I think we're gonna stop making the basic electronic circuit and switch to making that one. Well, that's the plan at least. However, I do need a couple more things to make that happen. So as you can see, the circuit assembler needs a fluid to run. Either liquid tin or liquid soldering alloy. And in general, making liquid tin is a bit easier right now. However, I'm gonna need soldering alloy in the future anyway, so I think it's a good idea to start setting that up now. So, in order to make it, I'm gonna need to make dust inside the mixer with tin, lead, and antimony. Well, to be honest, I think the problem here is gonna be the lead. Like, do I even have lead? No. Well, okay then. I guess I'm just gonna go buy some lead ore. Let's get like a stack. The other thing that I'm going to need for the basic integrated circuit is going to be IC chips. So for that I'm gonna need some silicon wafers. So I believe it's this one. So this gonna need an MV cutting machine since it requires 64 EU per tick. And the basic one can only do 32. So the MV cutter is gonna require some vanadium steel. So vanadium steel is made in the blast furnace. It's a mixture of steel, vanadium, and chromium. And it's also gonna need an MV mix. Okay, I guess I was trying to speed run this. Okay, maybe my goal of making it to the MVH this episode is probably not gonna happen. I still need quite a lot of stuff. Okay, then I guess let's follow the quest line. For some reason, I guess I was expecting that the progression was gonna be pretty much the same as Gregtech CE, but you know, it's a bit more involved now. So it looks like it wants me to make a canner. Basically, this is like the canning machine where it fills up batteries with, you know, the lithium and the sodium and the cadmium, I think. So originally I thought that making the basic circuit assembler was kind of a mistake, but I didn't see that it did actually unlock a couple of cheaper recipes. And not only is this one actually cheaper, it also makes two at a time. This only makes one, but it's also cheaper. You don't need two circuits instead of three. So I did a couple of more machines here. So first one is the basic ore washer, and I'm washing crushed ruby ore here, so I can get the purified ruby ore, and it also gives me a byproduct of chromium, which I will need pretty soon. And also I need the purified ruby in order to run it through the sifter. It has to be purified. So with the sifter here, I'm looking for exquisite ruby, and I can use the exquisite ruby to make a ruby lance. And the other recipes requires an envy powered lathe, so with this I can do it in an LV1, so for right now that's a better option. I also think, yeah, I also need to get, I think it was the exquisite emerald. Flawless. Yeah, flawless emerald for the envy emitter. And the envy emitter is needed for the precision laser engraver. So yeah, once I go and mine up some emeralds, I'll probably have to run them through here as well. So originally I did want to go for a 16x medium voltage battery buffer, but I decided to make it 4x because these batteries are really expensive. It's 6 battery hour per. Soon I should get into making some liquid polyethylene, and that will make the recipe a bit cheaper. So I think I'm gonna go for a 4x right now and upgrade to a 16x later on. And most because I wanted to at least make one heavy machine this episode. So this one is gonna be the electrolyzer. And I'm gonna make the electrolyzer so I can electrolyze ruby dust, which is gonna give me even more chromium and some aluminum as well. Both things that I need a bunch of. So I guess let me grab a stack of aluminum here. And I believe that there's a recipe in the assembler. Yeah, in order to make it into the MV machine casing, instead of having to use that inch. So it's circuit number 8. So let me just make a bunch of those since I'll probably be using them anyways. So I guess let's add the recipe 3 for the advanced electrolyzer. So really the only thing that I need to add the recipe here is the heavy machine hull. And yeah, I can't make this any other way. So let's see, we're gonna need some silver wire. Oh, I don't actually have any. Yeah, I do at least have some silver, so I guess I just throw that. So what else am I missing? Some more aluminum, some copper cables. I should have some. So that's an MV machine hull. And then an MV electrolyzer. Here's a 4 amp energy converter. And I'm gonna make a couple more copper wires. There's a battery buffer. And also I did actually make some, what is it, energetic cowboy wire, which is the MV superconductor. Since you know it's a bit easier to make rather than magnesium diboride. Oh god, what is this? Ah, I'm not even gonna think about these. Okay, so since we've got the 4 amp converter, I'll just make use into 4x cables. So where exactly do I want to make this? I guess I should take a look at the chunk borders. Well, if I place it here, yeah, I think that's gonna be fine. I won't have space for multiple machines here, but oh, I can use them on the other side. Hey there, it's me from the future again. So for some reason the next few minutes of the recording just disappeared. So anyways, I had to move these guys back a little bit. Add in the battery buffer and the electrolyzer. And I believe I also made some comment about having to update my power generation or something. I think I did that. And that's about it, I think. So I guess let me test it out a little bit. So this purified point of ruby dust, what does it have to do? So I have to throw it through a centrifuge. This looks like it's a pretty quick recipe. I got some red garnet. Well, it does look like it's a tick too special. So how much ruby dust do we need? 6. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to stop like probably this recipe for the time being. So I think this just pauses the recipe, yeah. It does should at least get this guy to fill up a bit more. So how are we looking? We got a billion amps of MV. Well, I think there's some kind of way to upgrade my dynamos. But anyways, this should at least work for a test drive. But yeah, it does work. Right? Well, we got some extra chromium like that. Okay, well, I guess I technically reached my goal of making an MV machine this episode. So I think it's a good time here to end it off here. So in the next episode, I guess I'm gonna look into upgrading my power production. And I think the way to do that is with some integral components. Honestly, they look pretty doable. Even the reinforced ones don't look too bad. So, I just want to thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.